Hi, my name is Lauren Wimwehan, and I have the privilege of being able to be with you today to learn about how we can strengthen our presentation skills by having a learner centered mindset. So, quick introduction: born and raised Texan, fighting Texas Aggie, avid gardener, loves of my life are my niece, my nephew, who locked himself in my dog's crate, and my boutique breed dog that I spent way too much money on, all to find out that she's dwarfed, so dwarfed, in fact, that she has to place her feet in front of her almost like a tripod. But I love her just as much, I think. So let's dive in and define our learning objective for today. So we're going to hopefully explore two key principles that are going to strengthen your presentation skills and hopefully increase learner satisfaction. In order for me to gain some just understanding or empathy from how adult learners feel either when they're inspired and engaged or when they're bored or frustrated, I pulled a few people. And here's what they had to say. When it was particularly frustrating or boring, they said when there were too many words or bullet points on the screen, and even worse if they had to read it. This particular person said that he could read faster than they could, and then he just didn't pay attention to what they were saying because he was just reading the screen. Another person said is when they come on a mission to deliver content and don't think about how it's landing or what we know. Another person said if it wastes my time, there's nothing useful to my work or I can't put anything into practice. On the contrary, what made it enjoyable, inspiring, or worthwhile? When it was simple, focused, when they were brief, and when they could relate to the content. If the activities or presentations honor the experience that I bring to the room. Or lastly, when they see authenticity, they make a connection with the presenter. And even better, if they can use something right away, and especially if it saves them time. So we're definitely seeing some themes here. I want you to think for just a minute and write using the note-taking guide and answer these two questions. What makes a presentation dreadful to you, or what makes it valuable? I want you to do this by yourself and not talk to your partner right now, but we're going to set a quick 1-minute timer to allow you to be able to answer these questions. And now that the 1 minute has passed, I want you to take 5 minutes to share your thoughts with your table partners and be able to share what you thought makes a presentation great or not so great. And now that those 5 minutes are up, as I was walking around the room, I heard lots of themes that we all seem to notice, which are relatability, if it saves you time, can it be put into action, do you find a connection with the presenter, are they giving you books on the screen for you to read, do they honor your experience? I'm going to cover two principles today, one about being concise and then one about honoring the expertise of the learners in the room. The first one is about being concise, and what this is going to allow us to do is be able to better empathize with the learner. One part of the empathy is just honoring their time. The other part is that it allows us to better define and narrow the learning objective by being concise. In other words, we should talk less and facilitate learner conversations more. I want you to read something. It's a really quick read. Just do this by yourself. It's called the Elusive 600. Take 3 minutes to highlight and find any poignant quotes. Use the QR code or the tiny URL. Set the timer. And now that this 3-minute timer is up, I just want to go over a couple of quotes that I found fairly poignant. People speak at about 150 words per minute, but we have the mental capacity to deal with 750. That leaves a space of 600 words where we drift. That's when we start texting. That's when we start going on vacations, shopping on Amazon. Most importantly, he says stop talking and give people a chance to process. The second part is to use slides as a visual engagement piece. Maybe a picture, a couple words, but not a whole book, right? The slide deck is not the main event. The experience is the experience of the learner. So let's hear what Simon Sinek has to say about all.
Remember your presentation skills. Simply having the picture and the words are only half the job. It's also about you standing in the front of the room, presenting. That's the other half. The content is only half of it. And those presentation skills are designed to help you connect with your audience and ensure that they're really interested in listening to whatever you have to say. Remember your presentation skills.
Okay, so I love what he says. The content is only half of it. That means you don't have to worry as much about the slide deck, but the learner. So honor the expertise of our learners. And when we do that, we can put the design thinking principles into place. So first of all, we have to have a plan to outline this learner experience. And it has to always go back to the objective. Here's a design thinking template that we're going to come back to. You'll find it on your tables. This is one that I use that allows me to plan, but then it also allows me to model design thinking in the whole experience for the learner so that they can take that back and use that. But also it helps me model this same process for myself. You also want to create a space where participants can learn from one another. So again, your focus is on them, not the information you're giving them. We do this by providing scenarios, giving them time to talk, letting them learn and define, and give them a time to reflect. Allow that learner to test the prototype or develop solutions. They're the expert. Mostly, give them time to grapple. Give them time to process. Don't throw so much information at them. It's okay. Less is more. So speaking of that, hopefully by allowing you to test this out, maybe you'll be able to implement how you might be able to outline your next presentation. So using the same design thinking template, you don't have to use it exactly, but at least let it be a platform for your thinking. You, by yourself, your partner, just use this to plan out your next presentation. I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes to allow you to do this. And then we're going to come back and close. So now that our 10 minutes are up, let's assess our learning objective. Did we define these 2 key principles? And did it hopefully make you think about being a better presenter? If so, complete the survey. Be honest in it. It's anonymous. Thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate you. And best wishes on your next presentation.